worshipper, lover of leaving. This no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come again. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. This no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come in a round.
Come, come, whoever you are.
Come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come yet again, come.
Good morning, and welcome to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I'm Aaron Ortega, and I'm joined today by Meridian Mensch, Liliana Setsky, Tatum Kowalczyk, Eve Murphy, Kitty Kailbarn, Director of Lifespan Faith Formation, Jessica Lakeman, Intern Minister Lisa Moore, and our Senior Minister, Reverend Lydia Ferrante Roseberry. Ted Koryath, Shelley Bernard, Debbie Larson are providing music, and our tech team, Boone Kowalczyk, Deborah Mensch, and Eric Williams on Zoom. And of course you. You are the ones who make this beloved community. As we say the welcome words today, please take the time to look around at the beauty gathered here on Zoom screens or at the fellowship.
You are all welcome here today. In the beauty of languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes, and sizes that come together in your uniqueness, you are welcome here.
In all the ways you experience and express gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here.
In all the ways you make your living and the places you are from, you are welcome here. With all of the traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here today.
No matter how long you are away, nor how soon you will return, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here.
On this blessed Mother's Day, you are invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and willing hands.
We welcome you today.
We do. We acknowledge that the land surrounding us is the stolen territory of the Arapaho people, and that many tribes roamed freely on this land for millennia before the arrival of white settlers. We commit ourselves to being a center for spiritual exploration and justice-making, and to anti-racism and anti-oppression work within and beyond our congregation. If you have a joy or concern you'd like shared, you are welcome to come up at any time during the service and drop a stone in our sacred waters and leave a note if you'd like. Reverend Lydia will incorporate them into the pastoral prayer later in the service.
If you are new here, we are glad that you've found us. And we hope that even in this multi-platform community, you can experience the warmth and love of this congregation. Each Sunday here is different, and this one particularly so. So please come back a few times to really get to know us. We have many opportunities during the week for social connection and spiritual growth. Those on Zoom, check out the links in the chat to help you get connected. Those in person can find our newcomer form on the QR code in the back of your hymnal, or stop by the welcome table in our foyer to get connected. Finally, if any new visitors on Zoom would like to introduce yourselves in the chat, please do. We love to know who is among us. And are there any visitors in the sanctuary today who would like to introduce yourselves by telling us your name and where you live? Yeah. Hi, Cameron. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to our youth service this morning. Beautiful. So all on Zoom are invited to join us for a virtual coffee hour after the service. For those here, you are welcome to join us for a mask-optional coffee hour in our fellowship hall. You may grab some refreshments and take them outside or stay in as you prefer.
Thank you. For those of you at home, you can light your chalice with me as I light our fellowship chalice. So we know where all of our chalices are. Please put in the chat, chalice lit in, and the name of your town. You can say the words with me. They should be up there. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. And now Kitty will ring our second bowl to invite you to draw deeper into the present moment and this, our beloved community.
Our opening words today are a poem I wrote in response to the leaked Supreme Court opinion about and its potential impact on the Roe v. Wade case. Every heartbeat matters, they say, until that heartbeat is Black, Latino, Native, or Asian. Or until that heartbeat is atheist, pagan, or Muslim. Or until that heartbeat is gay. Or until that heartbeat is transgender. Every heartbeat matters, they say, or until that heartbeat is on trial and the consequence is the death penalty, or until that heartbeat is struggling with its mental health, crying itself to sleep every night, or until that heartbeat is neurodivergent, not quite understanding the social cues like every heartbeat around it. Every heartbeat matters, they say, until that heartbeat doesn't fit into the mold it was given, or until that heartbeat strays from the idea that was planned for it, or until that heartbeat isn't prepared for the quote-unquote real world. And yes, they're right. Every heartbeat matters. Yet, for some reason, that heartbeat changes when its person breathes air for the first time, when its person cries, when its person sees, when its person speaks for the first time. Every heartbeat matters. Inside the womb and out. Protect Roe, under all circumstances. Protect Roe. Thank you, guys. We now invite you to join us for our opening hymn, Spirit of Life, number 123 in the Gray Hymnal. And we thank you in advance for keeping your masks on as we sing, to keep us all safer.
Please rise in body or spirit as you are able to join us.
As youth begin to leave their childhood behind, we seek to honor this tradition through our coming-of-age curriculum. In this program, our youth explored theology, spirituality, and history through discussion, music, writing, and art, among other things. Through coming of age, we explored not only what it means to be Unitarian Universalist, UU, but what it means to be you. Together, we worked with the youth to explore what they believe, what they find meaningful, and how to build a spiritual toolkit to help them as they face the joys, sorrows, wonders, and challenges of being human.
One of the main purposes of this class is to help youth distinguish their own beliefs from that of their parents or friends, and to make a choice whether or not to claim Unitarian Universalism for themselves, as their own. Part of this process is the writing of a credo, or a statement of faith. These youth have been developing their credos over the course of the past year and are going to present them with you now. First, we have Liliana Setsky.
Hello, my name is Liliana Setsky. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. When it comes to higher powers, I don't know. Humans can't prove any of the possibilities. There could be no gods, one god, or multiple. One religion could be true, or all of them. For all we know, God could be a giant snail. As far as human nature and ethics, I believe humans aren't inherently bad, but we aren't inherently good either. It's important to do your best to avoid negative impacts to others and the world around you. Just because one path is easier doesn't make it better, because there are more beings on this planet than just you, and they're all equally important. Actions are more important than beliefs. If you believe everybody deserves respect, but don't give everyone respect, it still causes harm. How you treat the world around you, especially living beings, is what makes you a good person. Finally, the world is in an undeniable climate crisis. It's vital that all people do whatever they can to avoid catastrophe. Whether that's driving less, buying in bulk, eating fewer animal products, all of the above, or other actions that reduce our impact on the environment. As our seventh principle states, it is all of our duty to protect the interconnected web of life of which we are all a part. Thank you.
Y'all ain't done with me yet. Good morning, friends. My name is Tatum Kowalczyk, and I identify with they, she pronouns. At the very beginning of the Coming of Age program, in, I believe it was like August of last year, I was told that a credo is supposed to be a statement of belief. So these are the first few sentences that popped into my head. I am a Christian thanks to my best friend, and I've looked up to her since I met her in 6th grade, and I will continue to look up to her for, I can tell you it's gonna be a while. She introduced me to the Christian church, Cornerstone Boulder, that I've been attending for over a year and a half now, a church where I have found a second family, that was united at a summer camp in Branson, Missouri, and brought together by rose-tinted sunglasses. The fact that the sentences, I am a Christian thanks to my best friend, well, the sentence, I am a Christian thanks to my best friend, is the first to pop into my head, would have absolutely bamboozled 8th grade me, because I was strongly opposed to any Christian image of God. Jessica even came up with the idea of a devout atheist. I even described myself as someone who would never believe in God and that nothing could change that. Yet here I am, 2 years later, talking about God in front of a room full of UUs and who knows how many more on Zoom, and regularly attending a Christian church every Tuesday. Branson, Missouri is a special place to me, and I'm going back there in like 4 weeks for the summer camp again. I believe in God. I believe God is everywhere, in the air we breathe, in between our fingers, woven into our clothes. I believe God is a being, sort of like the Force in the Star Wars movies, always a gentle hand on our shoulders, telling us that while things may be difficult now, things do get better. I believe God is every gender and yet no gender at all. And I believe God is every sexuality and yet no sexuality at all. I believe God is every race, every religion, every creed. Another Christian I look up to, Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. In his famous letter from a Birmingham jail, Dr. King states that, like the Apostle Paul, I must constantly reply to the Macedonian call for aid. I'm gonna be honest, I've never been to Greece, it's on my bucket list, but the general gist of that sentence is really, really important. I respond to anyone that needs aid, no matter if they are Black, white, Asian, Native, gay, straight, transgender, cis, Christian, Muslim, pagan, or atheist, or any other determining factor that makes someone who they are. If someone needs help, I will do what I can to get them back on their feet. The human call for aid isn't the only one in the world, though. The world itself, the climate crisis, is calling to us. We, as humans, need to step up and solve this emergency that affects us all globally. It doesn't matter if you live in Juneau, Moscow, Barcelona, Lima, or even Boulder. You are going to be affected by the climate crisis. You are currently affected by the climate crisis. And while I do believe in God, I don't believe that God is going to solve this crisis for us. He gave us the resources to solve this crisis. He gave us the bacteria discovered by discovered by Morgan Vague that consumes the plastic PET, one of the most commonly used plastics in consumer goods, and turns it into harmless byproducts. I believe he gave us the discovery of solar, wind, and hydroelectricity. We as a human race just have to be the ones to take the initiative and use these resources to aid the reversal of the climate crisis. I believe that God is standing at my side, at your side, at everyone's side, throughout life's highs and lows, throughout the discoveries and innovations, throughout the trials and errors, throughout the victories and the losses. And here I am, a former atheist turned Christian because I trusted my friend enough to go to church 3 times. Don't get me wrong, I am incredibly grateful to have the opportunity to be raised with the open-mindedness that Unitarian Universalism brings. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But in the search for my truth and meaning, I'm confident in saying that I've found a new second family through Cornerstone and found a new side of myself. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Aaron Ortega, and my pronouns are he, him, his. My mom and I came to this church in 2007, and since then, I have been in children's and adult choirs, church camp and camping in the summer, OWL, youth group, coming of age, now coming of age. But one of the main things that characterized my time at this church was the time in between these activities. There would be times that I wouldn't be involved in anything church-related for months or even years. But every time I would come back, I would always be welcomed with open arms. I've talked about this before in February of 2019, when I was asked to provide a reflection on how we would keep our connections even when we were temporarily meeting at First United Methodist. My answer was that it's the people who make a community and not the building. And I still believe this today, which leads me to my first core belief, creating and maintaining a caring and welcoming community. To continue, during the coming of age process, we took a nature walk right into our backyard to Wanaka Lake? Wanaka, can never pronounce that right. I'd obviously been there many times over the years, both with the church and just for fun. But this time was different because I'm older now, and I hadn't been there for a while. So as I wandered in the playground, I remembered the real reason I loved this community place so much. The area behind the playground. Yes, you heard that right. As a kid running around the lake, I liked the bushes and fallen down tree better than the actual playground. As I tried to squeeze through the tiny path in the now dead thicket, I found the clearing where an awesome fort made out of sticks and leaves once stood. Years ago, when the fort was still in its prime, I remember crawling in with the various sticks and rocks I had collected, the treasures of the day. Retracing my steps, I arrived at the aforementioned fallen down tree, where I sat listening to the next generation on the actual playground. They were woefully unaware of the wonderful adventures to be had on this epic tree. And that's exactly my point in telling you this. When I was there, I was able to reconnect with a part of myself that I didn't know I lost. Wonder. That feeling when you see Mickey Mouse at Disney World for the first time. Or the ability to be fascinated by a simple stick. Imagining a wizard's staff. Much like the seventh principle, my second core belief is seek wonder in all you do. So, I obviously just don't believe those two ideas and that's it. But those are the ideas that I've refined into statements that actually make sense. The other topics I'm entertaining but haven't really made sense of yet is the existence of a wise presence, but not a God. For various reasons, I never liked that moniker. A powerful force, but not omnipotent. Someone you can confide in, but not pray to. Another unrefined idea that I had was on what happens after you die. Much like the people pleaser I am, I envision a choice where you can pick the afterlife that you believe in. Personally, I would like to see family members who have passed again, as well as dead celebrities I've always wanted to meet. See Stan Lee, the comic book legend. I picture a utopia much like the depiction in the comedy TV show The Good Place, for those of you who have seen it, but with the aforementioned conditions. Thank you all for listening and for helping me become the person I am today. Thank you.
Each week, we remind ourselves of the abundance of our lives and of this community by giving one half of our plate away to those organizations that share our values. Today, our offering will go to support the Camping Ministries program of our Pacific Western region. Our Camping Ministry program is responsible for putting together week-long sleepaway youth camps in our region, including Quest Camp here in the Mountain West. However, instead of me trying to tell you why Quest Camp is so important to our youth, we have a short video from some former campers speaking about what Quest Camp meant to them.
Hi everyone, I'm Ramona.
I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Elena.
And we're the Salgado Triplets.
Hi, my name is Kate Billings, and I am a Quest alum.
Hi, my name is Morgan Day, and I am a Quest Camp alum.
Quest was a very important experience for all of us. For me personally, I think Quest was one of the most, if not the most, formative experiences of my youth.
Quest was extremely life-changing for me. It definitely was the seed to me becoming more involved with Unitarian Universalism during my years in high school, and I think ultimately that involvement in Unitarian Universalism really shaped my teenage years, but also shaped the person who I am today in a lot of ways.
I made the deepest connections I've ever made with people at Quest Camp, and I still reach out to my friends to this day. Quest was probably the most important experience I had in high school. I learned so much about myself and others and how to treat people and how to really just be a good human being, and it laid the foundations for how I do social justice in my own life and how I view the world and myself and others. If I didn't have Quest, I would not be who I am today. I formed so many deep personal connections with others, and I learned leadership skills, social skills, and so much that I was not ever taught in school. Quest is just such an incredible and unique community that is accepting, truly accepting, of all youth. It is one of the only places that some youth can feel accepted, especially going through high school, which can be such a difficult time. It was the only place I ever felt like I could be 100% myself.
Quest is such a unique, beautiful, and safe space that only exists during the summer and during the camp. And it was a place where I really figured out and started to understand a lot more of myself and others, and I couldn't have done that in any other space.
It taught me the importance of intentional community and connecting with people from all over who bring all sorts of different things, and what creating intentional community looks like, and how I deserve to feel in an intentional community, and how you deserve to feel cared for in those communities.
The week of Quest, there's just such an array of activities and opportunities that youth get to participate in to learn more about themselves and the world, and just make a more meaningful connection with nature and people around them.
The spiritual aspect of Quest and being able to explore spirituality through both community, close-knit community, and also with nature is something that is extremely invaluable about camp.
I think Quest was truly life-changing for me, and one of the biggest impacts it had on me was giving me a strong basis and love for activism, and everyone else at the camp also. I still see people going to protests and whatnot and changing their communities because of the basis that Quest gave us.
I hope that it continues for decades and decades into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. So, please keep Quest alive.
Give generously, as you so often do.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
For the work of the fellowship, bringing love, reason, compassion, and justice to this world, to the camping ministries of our Pacific Western region, we dedicate these offerings. And since we youth have been missing it, sing along if you know. And now we sing, from you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Hello. Good morning. I'm going to come over here, and we've got a story time for all ages. So if anybody wants to come a little closer so you can see the pictures, you're welcome to, or you can stay over there, whatever makes you happy. So this is about the littlest cricket. Do I go to the right place? Yeah. You over here? Okay. Can you see it okay? There we go. For most of the crickets in Swamp Swallow Pond, sunrise was a happy time. They came out of their tunnel-dark homes and celebrated the light of day with a fiddler's song. But the littlest cricket was sad. "I want to stay here," he told his mother. "What will you do in the dark?" she asked. "You must come outside and make music." The littlest cricket said defiantly, "I don't have anything to sing about." See the littlest cricket down there? Yeah, he's still in the tunnel. "You don't want to come outside, you don't want to make music. The next thing you know," his mother scolded, "you won't want to be a cricket." "Oh, I wish I were a butterfly," he said softly. But his mother didn't hear. "Outside this minute." Anybody sound like that? No. Okay. Let's look at the next page. Into the bright daylight he went, but he didn't make any music. The sound of the other crickets fiddling was more than he could stand. "Why are they so happy being crickets?" he asked out loud. "Perhaps they don't know what I do." "And what is that you know?" asked a passing glowworm. The cricket said, "I know I'm ugly. All crickets are ugly." "Who told you such a thing?" the glowworm asked. "The frog who lives at the edge of the pond. He told me I'm the ugliest creature he ever saw." "Well," said the glowworm, "look at me. I'm no beauty myself." "But you will change into a lightning bug," the cricket said. "Well, I will always be an ugly cricket. I wish I were a butterfly." "Being a cricket seems fine enough to me," said the glowworm, going on his way. "That's easy for him to say," said the littlest cricket. "He will be a lightning bug one day, and the frog would never find him ugly." "What do you care what the frog who lives at the edge of the pond has to say?" a ladybug asked. Did I get to the ladybug? Do you see the ladybug? Yeah? Yeah? Do you see the ladybug? "If he told me I was ugly, I wouldn't care." "But who would ever say you were ugly?" said the cricket. "Everyone can see how lovely you are." "Perhaps you're right," she said, "but you must not mind what that silly old frog tells you." That's easy for you to say, said the cricket as the ladybug flew away. Oh, I wish I were a butterfly. He jumped onto a lily pad and drifted across the pond to talk to the old one. She'll help me. But seeing his reflection in the water, the littlest cricket started to cry. Oh no. Why am I so ugly? He asked his mirrored self. Why can't I be a dragonfly like me? Oh. The cricket looked up to see a dragonfly. It's true I'm a magnificent creature, but so are you, said the dragonfly. Humph, said the cricket. You fly around with your wispy wings and your body all covered with jewels and tell me I'm magnificent? Please, Mr. Butterfly, go away. You can't understand. I wish I were a butterfly. The cricket blinked and the dragonfly was gone. On the other side of the pond, the old one was waiting. I'm good at waiting, she told the cricket once. That's a spider's life, spinning and waiting, waiting and spinning. When the old one saw the cricket hop off the lily pad, she could see how sad he was. It's a lovely day, the old one called out. And lovely days are too short to wear long faces. What's wrong, my friend? I am ugly, said the littlest cricket. Whoever told you that? Asked the spider. The frog who lives at the edge of the pond. Oh, how I wish I were a butterfly. The old one began to laugh. Can you laugh with me? Butterflies are pretty to look at, she said, but they are no more special than you. Not special, the littlest cricket cried. They are the most beautiful creatures in the pond. I wish I were as special as that. The old one continued to laugh. I thought you would understand, the cricket said. You don't envy the butterfly because you're so beautiful yourself. The spider stopped laughing at once. You think that I am beautiful? She asked. The cricket nodded. I've been told I'm the ugliest creature, maybe in all the world, said the spider. The cricket looked surprised. Did the frog who lives at the edge of the pond tell you that? Not only the frog, said the old one. If I believed what everyone says about me, I would think myself quite ugly. But I don't believe everyone, and I certainly don't believe that grumpy old frog who lives at the edge of the pond. I believe you because you are my friend. You think I am beautiful, so I am. You are beautiful, said the littlest cricket. I still wish I were a butterfly. Suddenly, a gust of wind rippled the water. Look, said the cricket, the wind has blown away your web. Ah, well, the spider said, then I must begin again. Spin and wait, wait and spin. It would make the time pass quickly if I had some music to work to. As the old one began to spin a new web, the cricket began to fiddle. And a butterfly heard the sound and said, what beautiful music. I wish I were a cricket. And that is the story. Thank you.
Beloveds, so beautiful to see all ages here today, and happy Mother's Day to those of you who are mothers. On this Mother's Day, I'm thinking about mothers the world around, mothers in the Ukraine, mothers in Syria, mothers in Afghanistan, mothers who are watching their children suffer, mothers who don't know how they will feed their children, even in this country, this wealthy, wealthy country. So as we celebrate those of us who are mothers, who have mothers here, let us also remember all the mothers who are challenged today. And how odd it is to be celebrating this Mother's Day with such an attack on women's reproductive rights, or on reproductive rights in general. Those of us who thought these wars were won, who thought that a body's choice could remain a body's choice and not be governed, are now finding ourselves again looking for ways to remember that every beating heart matters, as Tatum told us, and that all bodies are sacred and deserve autonomy to make their choices. Beloveds, on this Mother's Day, let us thank all the nurturers, the mother archetypes, the beautiful and loving as Aphrodite, compassionate as Kuan Yin, fiercely courageous as Durga. Let us acknowledge the diversity of motherly bodies, the fathers becoming mothers, the mothers becoming fathers, and all the ways people of all genders become mothers and are mothers. In these beautiful times where we are recognizing the fullness of human potential more and more. Let us pray for those for whom this day is not joyful, but perhaps sad. Those who are still yearning to be mothers, those who have lost their mothers, those estranged from their mothers or their children, and those who have lost children. Let us remember those female-identified people who are choosing not to mother and are responding to society's pressures and questions. More than anything, on this Mother's Day, let us revel and promote the autonomy of each human being to bring its fullest self into the world, no matter how that is expressed. These beautiful youth are reminding us of all the incredible ways we can express ourselves, reminding us to take the call for all of creation. May they be our leaders now. Blessed be. Amen.
So please join us in singing in the teal hymnal. It's 10:53, How Could Anyone? And feel free to rise in body or spirit as you're able.
bridging ceremonies have been used in various UU congregations, districts, now regions, and at General Assembly since 1996. And they serve as a way to mark the transition into and out of our youth communities. Today, we will honor both of these transitions. First, we will honor Meridian Mensch and Monet Meisman, our graduating seniors, as they move from members of this youth community into that of the young adults.
Next to the podium here, you will see we have a bouquet of flowers with one stem for each member of our group, including those who are unable to be here today or who are on Zoom. Each of these flowers is unique and beautiful, and yet together they create something even more special and glorious than any single one of them could by itself. Among these flowers are 2 roses, one for each of our graduating seniors.
Here I am. We, like many UU congregations, also use roses in our child dedication ceremonies. There is, however, one crucial difference. For the child dedication ceremonies, we remove the thorns of the roses to symbolize the protection that the community will provide in looking out for that child. Now the seniors will receive roses, but this time with their thorns intact, as they leave the community of childhood and strike out on their own. We hope these roses may serve as a reminder that we will no longer be able to protect you from the pain and difficulty that you will surely. Where are they? Okay. And Monet's out there. I wanted to be talking directly to them. This community will, although we cannot protect you, Monet and Meridian, this community will be here to support you and pick you back up when you fall.
Before we invite Meridian and Monet to join their new community of young adults, thanks for being here, we would like to give them the opportunity to tell you in their own words what it has meant to be a part of this UU community. Unfortunately, Monet is unable to be with us in person today, but she has sent us a brief video, which we will share with you now.
Hi everyone, sorry I can't be at the bridging ceremony. I'm going skydiving, but thank you guys for being the wonderful people that you are, and I hope that it's a great ceremony.
Good morning. I'm Meridian Mensch, and I use they, them pronouns. It's been a wild ride here at the fellowship since my mom first brought me here, before I can remember. There's been all kinds of escapades with Sunday school and OWL and coming of age. But really, what this fellowship has meant the most to me is music. I can't imagine what my life would be like if I hadn't regained my trust in music after some scarring experiences with a regimented children's chorale in my youth. The community has offered a welcoming, safe space, coaxing me through my fear and back onto the stage. I may well be able to follow my dream of becoming a singer-songwriter because of the support I've found here. So thank you all for being there for me to lean on when I am not strong, for being the rock to which I can cling when I can't keep from singing. But my name is Meridian Mensch, and my pronouns are they, them, and I am not anyone's daughter, girl, woman, or lady. I am Deborah's child, Theo's sibling, and my own person. I'm going to be perfectly, brutally honest with you. I haven't always found this a welcoming, safe space to be my true non-binary self. I know you all are trying, but it's not enough. It's not enough for you to hastily correct yourself only after I, or sometimes my mom, tells you your mistake. And I don't mean that I want to hear a great long apology speech. Life is short, and neither of us has time for that. And more importantly, when you do that, you're making it about you, making me feel like I have to apologize to you. I know that you're trying ever so hard, and it wasn't like this when you were young, and it's all so new. I know that. And I know I'm probably asking a lot of you. Believe me, I've spent many a late night lying awake wondering whether going by they, them pronouns and asking people around me to be uncomfortable was right or even okay. Sure, I was uncomfortable, and every time somebody called me she or her or girl or daughter or any number of other triggering words, I felt like my heart was being yanked out by a vengeful buzzard. But asking everyone around me to be uncomfortable for such a little thing? Who did I think I was? But then I realized it wasn't just me. I'm not the only non-binary person in the world. I'm not the only non-binary person any given person around me would meet in their lifetime. And I'm not even the only non-binary person at this fellowship. I wasn't, and I'm still not, asking people to be uncomfortable just so I can feel safe and welcome in my own church, the church that strives to be the most accepting and welcoming, one of the most accepting and welcoming churches. I'm asking you to be uncomfortable because this church will miss out on a large demographic of younger human beings. And so many human beings will miss out on this wonderful community if you don't do work. I ask you, I beg you to do the work of welcoming, of acceptance, so that this church doesn't become obsolete in this changing time, so that hundreds of people like me, young and old, can walk in through those doors and experience the wonder of a truly beloved community and not feel marginalized, attacked, and erased. What does this work look like? It looks like practice. Maybe alone, telling stories to a beloved stuffed animal or pillow, stories about a non-binary person, using the correct pronouns. It looks like finding knowledgeable websites or books or friends and figuring out how to be an ally and stay an ally. And it looks like asking people what their pronouns are. And I mean what their pronouns are, really are, not what pronouns they prefer. And even if you think it looks obvious, and finding ways to remember what they tell you, maybe by taking notes so you can practice at home later, or by repeating it to yourself several times. It doesn't mean making no mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But it does mean learning to catch yourself when you make a mistake and to correct yourself briefly before someone else has to. If someone else does end up having to correct you, don't write an apology dissertation. Remember they're helping you become a better person, thank them briefly, and move on. And it means continuing this work even after I leave for college in the fall. If you're already doing this work, thank you for that. It means so much to me and to so many others with us in this fellowship and in the wider world. If you're not, then get on it, because people around you need it, because our principles as Unitarian Universalists call for justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. And most of all,
because it's just the right thing to do.
Meridian. Hello. Our gift to you today is not only a rose with thorns, but also this book of readings. Use it to find your own path, which you're already doing, but always remember the love and faith of this community which are represented in it. They are there for you whenever you need them.
The book is called Becoming.
One of the most important things the religious life does is help hold us in both the joys and the sorrows of life, its beauty and its challenges. It is my hope for all of you and for Monet that this community has given you the space and support you need to bring you this far on your journey, and that it has helped you lay in store the spiritual tools that you will need going forth in young adulthood and beyond. My wish and hope for you is that wherever you are in the next few years, you will find a Unitarian Universalist faith that will hold you and nurture you and help you discover the ways in which you are called to make the world a better place. And you are obviously already discovering that. Thank you. Please join us for the responsive reading adapted from Beyond Borders by Rick Hoyt.
Go forth, because we are always going forth from somewhere, going from our homes, our childhoods, going from our cities and countries.
Going from innocence to experience to enlightenment. Going into mystery and questions. Going into the desert. Getting to the other side.
Go forth. Leave behind the comforts and community of one place. Head into the anxiety and loneliness of another.
Carry with you the love and laughter of this place, and let it light your way. Carry with you the wisdom you learned and the good memories. May they give you strength for your journey. Come back. Come back to the one, universal, everywhere and every when and everyone inclusive home. This beloved community of all creation that you can never really leave. Meridian, I now invite you to go join the young adult community who is here today waiting to welcome you. So now that we have said goodbye to two of our members, one here and one in spirit, at this point, it is time to welcome in the new. So I would like to ask those youth who will be joining our high school youth group in the fall to stand and come to the front of the sanctuary. I will read the names aloud and invite you to come forward as you hear your name. Ricky Burchell, Sam Holmberg, Boone Kowalczyk, Sean Landis, Nick Larson, Theo Mensch, Brody Neville, Liana Wieland. Brody, come on. Yeah. Oh, come stand up here. In the fall, you will be joining these youth as part of the Boulder Valley UU Youth Group. And I know that they are looking forward to welcoming you into their community with open arms. As you cross this symbolic bridge into our youth community, we invite you to add your flowers to our bouquet. But first, we would ask you to express your desire and intent to join this group and to bring your full, authentic selves to it by joining the current youth group members in this responsive reading you will see on the slides.
We welcome you into our beloved community.
We promise to bring our best selves into your community.
We promise you acceptance, love, unconditional love, and friendship.
We dedicate ourselves to this community with honesty, respect, and love.
We dedicate ourselves to you. We cherish each of you for who you are and be there for you as shoulders to lean on.
We will be open to your wisdom and guidance.
Together we will journey, seeking knowledge, serving our faith, and healing our world.
Now, please add your flowers to our bouquet and go join the rest of the youth group up here. Symbolically join us here.
You're going to sing. Meridian. That's what I... Wow. These young people are absolutely amazing. What an honor and a privilege to be a witness to your unfolding, all of you. I do have some announcements. These youth are very amazing, and some of you may want to get to know them a little bit better. And it just so happens that if you haven't noticed, Kitty will be on maternity leave this fall. And she's our youth coordinator. So we need a solid group of youth advisors to hang out with these amazing teens through the fall and make sure the youth group gets off to a great start. So if you've been inspired and you want to get to know these kids, please, these young people, please let Jessica know. Oh, whoops, the rest of my announcements are here. After the service today, there's another opportunity to discuss the proposed 8th principle, which we'll be asked to vote on and adopt at our congregational meeting in June. Chris Itano will lead the discussion in a Zoom meeting, but people are invited to stay in the sanctuary. Is that correct, Chris? Oh, Pat Boltop is leading the Zoom group. Chris Itano will stay here in the sanctuary and lead a group here. So please, if you want to learn more about the 8th principle about anti-racism within the Unitarian Universalist Association, please stay in the sanctuary. It is hard to believe summer is just 4 weeks away, and everyone this summer will have an opportunity to share something with our next generation. This summer's programming is called Share Your Passion, and we're inviting people who have a passion in the congregation, and I know all of you do, to come to let Jessica know. And where's let Jessica? And she will, and she'll help you get signed up. So gardening, crocheting, martial arts, whatever that your passion is. Tomorrow is the last day to get your pictures or few words to Karen Griglak, who happens to be right there, for what got you through the pandemic. And that will be part of the service on the 15th, which is next Sunday, which is also Music Sunday. It's also the time of year when we are recruiting for service associates. So if you have often wondered how fun it must be to be up here, it really is fun. So you can also see Karen Griglak for that, or sign up at the, I think you can find out information at the welcome table as well, and there's information going in the chat. And finally, I'll be on study leave during the week next week, so I won't be answering emails. If there is a pastoral concern or pastoral emergency, please text or call me. And otherwise, the lay pastoral care associates are available for people this week. And Lisa is, not available, because Lisa's graduation is next Sunday from seminary. So she won't be here either. We have excellent lay pastoral care associates. And now we'll extinguish our chalice.
We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Victory! Let us go forth. And as one flame lights another, nor grows the less, we pledge ourselves to be the bearers of the light wherever we are.